off the field of play and whose home you'll find down Coldblow Lane. Gerald Sinstadt reporting.
In more than a century of Millwall history, there haven't been many excuses for a knees-up in Coldblow Lane. They've been in 3 FA Cup semi-finals, but not for 50 years. Pre-war, they were champions of Division 3 South. In 1962, they were Division 4 champions. But now they're thinking about promotion to the First Division, something they just missed in 1972.
That was a good ball from Dorney. But no doubt about that one!
Those were the days when Harry Cripps used to frighten opponents, while Eamon Dunphy bewitched them. But Millwall finished third and only 2 went up. Now there are new heroes. Tony Cascarino, the former Gillingham forward, signed for £300,000. Kevin O'Callaghan, who left Millwall for Ipswich and Portsmouth, has returned to the den. The fans quickly took to George Lawrence from Southampton. Sadly, he's been out since December with injury. But they've been consoled by spectacular goals from local boy Teddy Sheringham.
I knew that we had a strong squad, but you could never tell how strong they were until they were put to the test, and they have been put to the test this year with the amount of injuries we've had, and they've come up trumps, and we're in there with a great chance, and we've got it all to do, but it's in our own hands. 4 games at home against teams such as Aston Villa and Blackburn, which are real 6-pointers, and 3 away games, including Leeds. So it's difficult, but not insurmountable.
For a club aiming to go up in the world, it helps to have a vice-chairman who's chief executive of a major advertising agency. Peter Mead's business is image-making, and he knows that Millwall's image must be changed.
Good advertising creates for the products it advertises the benefit of the doubt. At the moment, I don't think we're given the benefit of the doubt whenever a situation occurs. If you look over the last couple of years at things that have happened in other clubs, if it had happened at our club, maybe you'd have thought World War III had broken out. In the future, if people know what we're trying to achieve, know the lengths that we've gone to make things better, know that we support our fans, minor incidents will be treated as minor incidents. If they're major incidents, we'll try and do something about them, but we don't expect to anticipate any major incidents.
A shift in emphasis from firm policing to community sharing has been helped by the involvement of Lewisham, the local borough council, as club sponsors.
If you believe, as we do, that the football club isn't a plaything of a few rich men, but it belongs to the community, you would necessarily direct yourself towards the community, which is what we've done with Lewisham.
Now, suppose next season Millwall are in the First Division. Manager comes to a board meeting and says, I could get you a centre-forward who'd score you 30 goals in the First Division, provided you put an extra penny on the rate. Can you do that?
No, we've got 2 centre-forwards who can get us 30 goals in the First Division next season. We've got Tony Cascarino and Teddy Sheringham. And there's a few more lads in the reserves too that could get something like that. But no, I don't think we'll be asking the ratepayers to buy strikers. We don't need them. I don't think they'd be very happy about paying for that sort of thing. It's about actually trying to keep sport within the community and building a closer relationship between the club and the council.
That means, for example, opening the executive lounge to the over 50s in midweek. The club becomes a community meeting place more than just once a fortnight.
We've got 1 ground left there, Les.
Gary Stemple's job as Millwall Football Club's Community Development Officer is full-time, and he's just taken on an assistant.
To begin with, the first 6 months was very difficult. Everybody was very sceptical. You used to go into schools and they used to think, oh my goodness, is this a scouting scheme? No, boys and girls are involved. It doesn't really matter. And I think there was a lot of skepticism between, let's say, the local community and some people in the staff as well here. But I think after a while, when it was shown that it could work and it can work successfully, things have just gone from slightly dodgy to very, very good now.
During the Easter holidays, Millwall youngsters will extend their mural depicting the club's history. And today's visit of Aston Villa should mean a record gate here at the Creche. Millwall claim they're the first in the league to mind the toddlers while mums and dads go to the game. Other activities, coaching, not only football but tennis and basketball, are not done with the main objective of easing more people through the turnstiles. Winning games does that. And today, Millwall try to repeat their November victory over Aston Villa. But it'll be a tense afternoon.
Millwall, actually, they're the only ones who seem to have the bottle for it. The rest seem to be losing points here, there and everywhere. But, who knows? There's still a few games to go here and that could all turn round, couldn't it?
Well, it is. It's an amazing 6-club scrap, and 2 certain to go up, and 3 of the other 4 will be involved in the playoffs. But for one club in particular, football history is within touching distance. Here's our reporter, Martin Tyler.
Well, this is Cold Blow Lane. It's an uninviting name, really, isn't it? And over the years, it hasn't done too much for the image of Millwall Football Club. But the winds of change are blowing through this part of southeast London. Millwall are close to breaking new ground. They're on the verge of reaching the First Division for the very first time. The excellent new Millwall history should shortly need updating because of the achievements of this team, which has climbed to the top of the Second Division. Millwall's last match at Bournemouth brought a 4th consecutive victory. Terry Hurlock's excellent goal turned out to be the decider. But only because of the type of incident which often stands between promotion and failure. Brian Horn, the Millwall goalkeeper, protected a 10-game unbeaten run with a last-minute penalty save to stop Richard Cook equalising. Millwall at home to Stoke City today, with manager John Docherty and his assistant Frank McClintock trying to keep the ship stable. But are the nerves starting to show?
No, it's the ideal situation to be in. You know, it's much better coming with a late run than it is being there, being everybody having a go at you from Christmas onwards. But the fact that we are top makes the last 3, or it made the game at Bournemouth particularly difficult, and will make the next 3 just as difficult because it adds that little bit of extra incentive to the opposition who want to knock you off the pedestal.
John and I are on to them every day, like most managers are anyway, but there's been a gradual improvement individually in the players and collectively as a team. I feel as though they all know what each other are doing. There's an air of confidence about the side before we go out on a Saturday. We demand hard work from them in every game, and we're getting that, but we're also getting the calmness that, especially in the attacking half, that we didn't have at the beginning of the season. And because of that, I think we're creating more chances now in the last 2 months.
Some say since VE Day on Saturday to mark Millwall's promotion to Division 1. The Lions play Blackburn as champions of the Second Division. All tickets were sold weeks ago. It should be quite a party. The party began at Hull yesterday. Millwall's Jimmy Carter celebrating with the fans on the pitch, whilst the team enjoyed themselves in the dressing room. The Lions are the only London club not to have played First Division soccer before. Manager John Docherty is to be offered a new 5-year contract to mark the success. Frank McClintock, his number 2, is to get a similar new deal. The gates at the Den will be closed on a 17,000 full house on Saturday. Today, £3 standing tickets were changing hands at £30. Even the keenest fans have been amazed at the team's end-of-season run-in.
Grown man crying. There was old fellas here saying the sort of grounds they've been to with Third Division and Second Division clubs, and now we're going into the big time.
You know, no trouble for 2 years. No trouble at all for 2 years. Problem. We've been away, we've got the best supporters at Bournemouth, best supporters at Swindon.
I would say that the Den's got to be the safest ground to go to.
He's an Arsenal fan, this fella, he'll tell you. Won't you?
Yeah, I've mixed with all this, none of them's all the Millwall fans that I know, none of them's trouble.
2 years ago, with debts of £3 million, Millwall nearly folded. The future of football of the Den looked bleak. That's when Reg Burr took over as chairman. The debts were cleared, a new club was formed, and now promotion.
There are people who have waited a lifetime for this. There are people who waited all their lives and not seen it. I have never seen any emotion so high at football as they were running on yesterday at Hull.
You've changed the image at home. You've got a creche, you work with the schools, you've got all sorts of officers out and about. But it's the image at other clubs that's...
Well, that I think is also a misconception or misperception. Last season we got an award from Hull City for being the best visiting supporters. We had a letter from the superintendent of the Thames Valley Police Authority congratulating us on the way our fans behaved.
They'll be playing First Division football. A really remarkable achievement for the management team of John Docherty and Frank McClintock, who've revived a club whose image at one stage was roughly the same as Genghis Khan's when he played out of Mongolia. Well, the Millwall mural here is also a history lesson.